Hi everybody, I'm Scotty,
I'm Stevie.
I'm Magda.
and welcome to yet another edition of Tea and Tarot right here at Books, Beans, and Candles in, where are we?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Birmingham, Alabama.
Whoop, whoop.
So what we've got coming up is, of course, our in-person event, which is in general on the first Friday night of each month at 6 o'clock. The next one will be August the 1st. So this is our August edition of our video thingy that we do. A couple of exceptions for this year. There will be no Tea and Tarot in October, nor in December. In October, on the 4th of October, that's a Saturday, that's our Psychic Fair. It's going to start at 10 o'clock, and it's going to go until 6 o'clock. And all kinds of readery type folks will be there, and we will be offering 10-minute readings for $15.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have stuff that we don't normally offer here at the shop. We do that once a year. It'll be a great time. It's always highly recommended that as soon as sign-ups are available, you sign up for what you want to do, because the sheets do tend to fill up before day of event.
Rather quickly.
And also in December, we won't have a Tea and Tarot, because the following day, and that'll be December the 6th, will be Krampus.
Krampus! Ah!
Krampus will be in town doing photos, and this will be the umpteenth year we've done that.
Yeah.
The redacted year we've done this.
Because I can't remember. I know that I'm here and I wear an ugly sweater. No, I'm not Krampus.
Krampus is Krampus.
Krampus is Krampus. But also, each month we have on the third Friday night an event called Sips and Stars at 6 o'clock. It's an interactive astrology event. And on the fourth Thursday, we have an event called Magic City Pagans, also at 6 o'clock. It's a different discussion topic each month. And those discussions are frequently facilitated by students in our witchcraft classes as part of their assignments. And I think that's all I've got right now. You can follow us on all the socials, and you can find our videos on Facebook and YouTube. You probably know that where ours are if you're watching us. But we do Magic City Pagans videos as well. So this month we're doing the Four of Cups.
The Four of Cups.
And I'm going to let Stevie start us off with their Fyodor Pavlov.
Yeah. So Fyodor Pavlov deck takes a pretty Rider-Waite-Smith kind of take on the Four of Cups. You have this guy sitting underneath a tree contemplating stuff. And I kind of like the whimsical nature of the artist's work here, especially on this card, because it kind of really captured, I think, that very sort of lost in your thoughts and emotions and kind of out there vibe that the Four of Cups has. So
and that's that's coming in from the Rider-Waite-Smith, like Stevie said. And I sometimes call this the "Why can't you get my drink right" cup, because they're looking at these three drinks and they're like real upset because they're just not made right, and they're not noticing the perfect cup being presented by Magic Hand, which interestingly mirrors the Ace of Cups in the Rider-Waite-Smith.
it does, yeah.
So that's following through. Which deck is this? This is yours, isn't it, Mike?
Yes, so this is the Druidic Tarot, which has a lot of Rider-Waite elements to it, but it feels more as a spiritual journey work, a lot of shadow work type things. And I picked the Four of Cups for this month from this deck because not only does she have the three cups that she's worked with in the past, but that fourth cup, and instead of completely rejecting that new one, it has a sense of, here's all the things I've been through and the new things ahead. And she's reflecting in the water down here. You see her little reflection where she's contemplating and digging deep down into all these things to figure out how it applies to life, where she's going from here on out, and the journey that she's on.
And the way that this card, at least for me, often presents itself is there is that daydreamy kind of sense. And in this one, it's I mean, especially the way the fellow's sitting,
No, I don't want to.
yeah, it's like, I want to sit there and wallow in my feelings, and that is especially prevalent in the Wildwood Tarot here. They call this boredom, and
This sucks, man.
and oftentimes she has that look, but it's almost like all of this watery stuff is going on, and we're just not connected there. It's got a sense of malaise to it.
Yeah.
So more for me, more ennui than boredom. And something that's interesting is, and you may not be able to see it, but in the water coming out of these vessels doesn't flow all the way down. It's almost like it's frozen, like it's
It's
stuck.
kind of Arrested Development.
Yeah, there's stuff not flowing. And this card here, originally in the Urban Tarot, filling in tonight from Magna's Pride Tarot deck.
Yes.
And in that deck, it's called Luxury, and that's a Aleister Crowley Thoth deck kind of thing. But when I look at those images, I'm not thinking luxury. I'm thinking sloth.
Yeah.
And when
Are they drinking milk?
yes,
They're drinking
Is
milk.
it-
it's milk and cookies.
Is it a nod to like a Clockwork Orange in some way, I wonder?
Stop drinking normal milk. You don't even put chocolate stuff in there.
So with in Robin Scott, the author of an illustrator and artist of the Urban Tarot, discusses this card as, it's great to sort of get into our feelings, but we can kind of, if we just kind of settle into them, it turns into almost a sense of lethargy. There's no momentum to it, and something that comes to me is that the number 4 is often I kind of associate it as sort of an earth kind of number. So when we think of earth as stable and steady, it's also full of inertia. It's slow. It's kind of hard to get moving, and when we apply that to that watery emotional side that the cups represent, that's kind of getting stuck, right? How do y'all feel about the number 4?
So I think it's in Japanese. It actually refers to, it's like a term for death. Like the number 4 is like they share like a similar like kanji or something, I think. So it has that sense of, if you're looking at the numerology, but like not European numerology, but East Asian, there's that sense of death and stillness and stopping, which is kind of on brand for the 4s within tarot. They're typically not super movement oriented. They do tend to have that sense of stability and kind of, if moving, very reticently a little bit. But especially with the 4 of Cups, there's that moment of, I have so many feelings, that they are kind of putting a pause on a lot of the things that you're trying to do, needing to do, wanting to do, because we just got a navel gaze about all the stuff we have.
And taking that sort of that lethargy, stuck kind of feeling, in the Pulp Tarot here with this 4 of Cups, we see this lady, and she's again got that sort of ennui, blah kind of thing, and there's 3 cups on the table here, and there's a dude, I assume it's a dude, could be another person of some, it's an arm coming in grabbing a cup. All right. Now, are they grabbing that cup and taking it away, or are they putting a new one in? Is this deck's version of Magic Hand? And we can go with that either way, depending on how that feels in the reading. And considering that lethargic state, it's almost like if somebody takes one of my cups, I'm not even going to care.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's intended, but the female figure in this one resembles a painting that I think was in the same time span of like the 1920s, 30s, maybe the 40s, where it's like Death and the Maiden, and she has a very similar look to that woman. It's the same color scheme, and it's the same subject matter almost, and so I wonder if that's an influence of it a little bit.
It could very well be. The designer of this deck, whose name I do not currently, Todd Alcott, because I happen to have the deck box with me, is designing this to look like covers of pulp magazines, and many of which were like true crime stuff. So it could very well have been influenced by earlier artworks.
I love that her skin is like slightly green, almost giving the impression that she's already passed on.
Yeah.
And so the murderer's just like, if I keep putting all these poison cups out here, they'll think it was an accident.
She poisoned herself.
and that's we laugh.
Yeah.
But those kind of weird things come up sometimes when in a reading,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a good idea not to completely dismiss that kind of random stuff that comes to
No,
us.
absolutely.
Because in the context of a reading today, that overwhelming, toxic
Yeah.
kind of stuff could be the message for that day.
Exactly.
So, any other thoughts on these cards?
Sometimes whenever this card pops up in readings, it's like, it's so good that we're thinking. Okay, now do something. Please take action.
And that's another thing. I mean, this is an emotion-based element, water, but a lot of these cards do have that either thoughtful or thoughtless
Yeah.
approach to them, and we do have to ponder what our feelings are trying to tell us.
Right.
Otherwise, we just sit there awash in them.
Submerged and drowning.
Submerged and drowning. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna introduce a couple of techniques for the spread. So this is going to be a 4-card spread. Technically, it's a 6-card spread. So what we're doing is we're using 2 different decks, and this is a spread based on concepts of the full moon.
Okay.
All right, because there's going to be a full moon August the 6th or something, 9th. It's early August.
They're long.
And the idea here is we're going to use 2 decks. One deck is the full moon itself,
Okay.
the side of the moon we see. And the other deck represents, it's the same moon, but it's the side we're not seeing. It's the dark
The
side.
dark side of the moon.
The dark side of the moon. And if you play that album backwards and sync it with the video, you should try that.
Do we both collectively roll our eyes at the same time?
I don't know.
But the other technique we're going to introduce is we're not just going to shuffle and throw the cards down. So what we do is we go through our deck and then we find the moon card.
No, you'll scare the magic away if you're looking at it.
And we find the moon card. There we go. All right. So, and then I'm going to take the 2 cards after it.
Oh.
So we're going to go moon. Stevie, help me. I can't reach.
Someone
Where
little
we're going.
like dig in the.
There we go.
Okay.
Only
Nope.
too high.
Surely between 3 sets of hands.
We can.
She chose
How many
down.
readers? How many readers does it take to lay cards
I
down?
do like that all of these have the moon in them.
Yeah.
And so that's the Robin Wood deck, and this is representing the lighter side of the moon.
Okay.
That's why there's so many moons.
Let's find there's so many moons. And then for the next one, I'm going back to my Wildwood deck. I'm going to find the moon there.
So why the moon while you're looking for the moon?
Why am I looking for the moon?
Yep.
Because this is the full moon deck. Or
Spread.
full moon spread. All right. So in this deck, it's called the Moon on Water. And you can use, you may find that your decks have personalities. You may have one that's, full moony, and you may have one that's dark moony, and then they have different personalities as you work with them.
Moony.
So the first card here, that's going to be the 8 of Cups, and that's sort of where we are at the start of this moon cycle. So it's us looking at the road ahead, and it's a very interesting card for that, with that 8 of Cups.
You thought about everything with the 4 of Cups. You got your kind of
Yeah.
choices all decided. Now you're like, I'm leaving by.
Yeah.
I
See
gotta
ya.
go.
Screw you guys, I'm going home.
So this is the okay. So the road ahead. You gotta cut some stuff out, leave some stuff behind.
This doesn't serve me anymore. Goodbye.
And the second card here is, how do we feel about this road ahead? Oh, I'm excited. There's a lot of energy going on there. This Jupiter thingy here is very an expansive kind of energy, and all of these rocket wands here, that's a lot of energy and momentum. So we may be very excited about it.
It very much has, especially with like the two kind of going hand in hand. Is like, I'm leaving and I'm going abroad. Bye.
And one thing that we can, as we draw these things in together, we can also look at these in the context of what the moon card generally is trying to tell us, and it's about stuff that's not easily seen,
Mhm.
stuff that's kind of not necessarily suppressed, but
Yeah.
not
Obvious and
not obvious, not right there out in the sunshine.
Somewhere in the distance, you can hear Freddie Mercury singing how he wants to be free,
Yeah,
or break free.
And sometimes in this card, not only just the moon and like the mysteries and everything, but I also look at the what's the word I'm trying to, domesticated dog with the collar, and then the wolf. So that duality of primal versus
Civilized, or
Civilized,
domesticated.
yeah. So maybe it could be a moving away from the domestication and just letting chaos take wild, or opposite.
and in this card they call it the moon on water, and this often looks like a reflection, but in the card itself it's egg-shaped, and the authors call that a reflection of the cosmic egg. So that's that sort of that ultimate source of things. So this is our burden, and these represent things that we're not seeing, so that things that we might, bring those to light,
Mhm.
that can help us as we go, because we may be, oh, I'm done with this, I'm ready to go. Well, with our page of bows, and bows in this deck is the element of fire. So again, that fire, passion, energy thing. And the pages, the way I see them, they tend to be a little bit impulsive. And a stoat is a member of the weasel family. So we can think of, they're predators, but they're bendy, they're very flexible, but maybe our burden is just straight up impulsivity. So maybe we've cut things loose a little bit too quickly.
Too preemptively. The page of wants me kind of has like that. I like comparing him to like an art student who has never worked in whatever medium he's focused on, and Jesus Christ, it's ugly. And there's kind of that fight you have to have where sometimes the element of putting your hands on something and learning how to do it can be very freeing and enjoyable and fun, challenging. But especially like a reading like this where it's like screaming, crying, puking the entire way of trying to get good at it, and that frustration and that kind of like, I'm gonna throw it against the wall and leave. Again, return to the screw you guys, I'm going home
Yeah, I
element.
was literally thinking about like, oh, I'm going to start this new hobby. What? I'm not immediately good at it? Screw that.
What do you mean it takes years of practice?
And that's and sadly that's something we've all been through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially as we get older, we get used to being good at the stuff we've done for a while,
Mhm.
and we try something new, and we're like, why haven't I mastered this yet? So maybe the thing to remember here then is that the burden may be that impulsivity, but the advice would be don't lose the energy of youth that is the thing that gets us excited and gets us moving.
Right.
And this here represents a challenge. That's something outside ourselves that might be in the way. And here we have the archer, which would be the chariot. But in this case, with the archer, the challenge will be
Riddled with arrows.
Oh, I don't see it that way. I see it more as she's taking aim.
Mhm.
She's focused. Interesting thing, we have these two Irish wolfhounds right underneath these two dogs.
Mm-hmm.
So but the challenge may be maintaining focus. Why did we start this journey?
Yeah.
We have all of this excitement and energy. It may be leading to impulsivity, but we have to remember why we started out on it to begin with. And bringing all of those together could be the thing that kind of illuminates both sides of that emotional issue.
And with the chariot in particular, it has that connotation with like the fourth house. So with like Cancer, the home, the family, your mom. And so I think when we look at the challenge of it too, is just when you're trying to find this thing or find this place or find this whatever that the impulsivity is leaning in towards, trying to find either the comfort or even just the discipline to find the proverbial home of things, to find that comfort place, to find that area that not only can you be cozy, but you can also actually find the tools and the wherewithal and the things that you need to actually flex those muscles to actually make this thing manifest and happen and do what you need it to do.
And I like the fact that you brought up that this is the fourth house, and you said Cancer, which is a moon thingy.
Moony, it's very moon, yeah.
So we have that theme coming in too, and you can see that I'm not an astrologer, so that doesn't come into my readings very often.
Yeah.
But you can see how if that's a thing you do, there's a lot of astrology you can do with tarot.
So one thing I really like right here, not a lot of people know this about me, but I used to be on the varsity archery team back in school. And so I find it very interesting that we have the bows here and then the archer.
Yeah.
Because one thing that really clicks to my mind with these, based on what we've discussed, is that there's a thing in archery that you do not do. It is dry firing your bow without an arrow. You can really damage your bow if you just keep doing that. So I find it really interesting that the archer was the one that's next, because you have a actual almost sword-like intellect focal point to actually put into the bow and launch it into its sights.
So we hope you enjoyed this weird little spread. And it shows us a couple of new techniques. You don't just have to shuffle the cards and throw them out. If there's a card that speaks to you as a theme, whether it's the moon or the sun or the stars or the tower, you can go through there and find cards around that and read those. And you don't just have to do one deck at a time. You can bring different decks in, and that allows different voices or personalities of decks to come through. But it also has the possibility of bringing up, we could have had 2 Eight of Cups show up, and what would have that told us? So there's lots of stuff you can do with these cards that can help give you information. And that, I think, will be our evening.
Yep.
We want to thank you for joining us for another podcast video. We don't know what it is. Podio.
You're just hanging out, vibing.
We gotta go. Making up new words.
So join us in person if you can, right here at Books, Beans, and Candles in Birmingham, Alabama on the first Friday night. It'll be August the 1st will be the next one at 6 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you. My name's Skaji.
I'm Stevie.
And I'm Magna.
Safe journeys.